think you all get the picture. That is from Epidemic Sound, which, of course, they're going to strike me again for that, even though it's royalty free music. And they told me in the prior email that I was able to use it. Today, as you know, is the 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve. Mike Ball, God bless, brother. Bliss, Chris, good to see you. Today's kind of like a lounge around day. I wasn't going to go on live. I said, you know what? What can we really talk about today? I said, let's discuss things that really affect people, especially the topics. Doesn't necessarily have to be something in the headline, just something that we might take for granted or we might not really figure how much it affects our life. But during the holidays, it's something we should all pay attention to and really give it the attention that it may deserve. Hey, Rabbits of Chaos. So without further ado, I'd like to say, number one, this show is for education, entertainment purposes only. And what we do here on this channel of Official Code TV is we just pretty much talk real life. I mean, we just keep it positive, uplifting. We don't do drama. We don't go at people. We don't dox people. We don't threaten people, even though that's been done a lot. What we do is build a brand. And like I told you guys, coming up on January 17th, I'll be in Connecticut with Cuzzo. He's going on Ian Bick. After that interview, I already have the web page for the clothing line all linked up. You know, I've been trying to put everything in order, so by the time we get there, I can officially unload it because now I have my EIN number, my tax number, the web page. I was just working on it before I got on here. So, you know, this clothing line is going to be more than just a brand. It's going to be affiliated with tattoos. So this whole, you know, the concept, the all inked up. If you have tattoos, you understand from a perspective of what it took for you to think about that tattoo. Maybe somebody had passed to made you want to get that. Maybe somebody you love, maybe a child, maybe a memory, maybe a date. But it all goes together. And to be honest, I haven't seen anybody do this yet, what I'm about to do. Not only that, the majority of my channel may be getting switched to All Linked Up Podcast, which probably like me and Cuzzo and another guy. I just got news now in Pittsburgh. There's a guy up there with a tattoo shop who I'm speaking to. We're getting ready to do some business. I'm going to use his shop as the first shop as a hub, put up some booths, put some apparel in there, and to just keep going. I'm going to do an interview with him. He's also a tattoo artist. I think he said he's coming up in February, and when he comes here February for the tattoo convention, if he gets a booth, it's over. He said he was getting hey, Cecil, what's up? He said he was going to get a booth. Now, if he comes to Philly for the convention and gets a booth, it's over. You know, but until then, like I said, you know, I've learned a lot from people on here. I learned what not to do. I learned what to do and how to do. And like I said, I always say, shout out to Mike Ball, man. Go check his channel out. He's on 11 p.m. every day, 11 a.m. And this guy is really good stock, man. His family, his people, really good people. So with that being said, allinkedup.com is right there. I put everything in there today. I have a couple more tweaks, you know, but what I'd like to do is to get into the show because I can't be here all day, but I am doing a Christmas Eve show tomorrow, which would be more just freestyling, you know, whatever. Talk about gifts, talk about the holidays, talk about what it means to you. Because the one thing I think that people don't really realize is that, you know, like the title says, Christmas isn't about the presents. It's about what it means to you. You know, what I feel is Christmas could be about presents, but then what do you have after that? There's meaning when it's a certain holiday, especially Christmas and New Year's, that, like, you know, brings you, reminds you, especially if you lost your family. This will be the first Christmas without my parents, and I'm sure a lot of other you guys have been through that, and my heart and prayers goes out. But over here, what we're trying to do is not really stress that. We're trying to make the best and the positive. So today, I'd like to go over a couple things that people might not even think, or maybe you do, comes across your mind, things that will definitely make you, affect you, but sometimes we don't even understand it. So what I wrote down a couple things, and it says right here, okay, I wrote, Christmas affects people through heightened emotions. Exactly. I mean, stress of money, stress of loss of loved ones, stress of, did you get everything right? Stress, are you doing good? Maybe somebody broke up. Maybe somebody's in a new relationship. There's so many things. bringing both joy, traditions, family, and stress, money and conflict, grief, social pressure, impacting mental health, finances, physical well being, food, safety, and relationships, often contrasting ideal, wait, idolized media portrays with recurring careful navigation of family dynamics and self care. Now, to me, I think it said it all there because I don't believe a lot of people understand what goes into a holiday and what stress unless you go through it, unless you're Fortune 500 and you know you can stand to do. Even Sessa, very successful, but he stresses because you know why he's got a big heart and he's always trying to make sure he takes care of everybody. So that in itself is one. But here goes the positive impacts of the holiday: connection and joy, strengthens family bonds, creates happy memories, fosters traditions, and brings feelings of togetherness. Hmm. You have gratitude and reflection, encourage reflection of the year, fostering thankfulness and setting positive goals for the future. Festive atmosphere, enjoying sights, sounds, scents, and special food, drinks can boost your mood. Now, here you go. Some of these people don't even need the holiday to bring them negative. They're so dang on negative. The negative can be mental health stressors, increased anxiety, depression, loneliness, and pressure to have a perfect holiday. Family conflict, unresolved issues, differing opinions, politics, religion, traditions, the real versus the fake trees, and awkward questions can lead to arguments, church or no church. Financial strain, pressure to buy gifts, leading to debate or money or stress. Man, health risks, overeating, drinking, food poisoning, disrupted routines, and potential for increased substance abuse. Now, that was one when I first was looking over that. I was like, wow, I can't believe that. You know, then you have grief and loss is one of the ones like, this is the first year that I won't have my mother and father for Christmas. Uh, so it's a little bit of a tough one. I was at the cemetery yesterday and I got to hang out with my mom and my dad, and it was just, whatever, each his own. Grief and loss intensifies feelings of sadness or loss of loved ones are not present. Social isolation, feeling lonely even when surrounded by people or feeling excluded from festivals. Hmm. The topics that cause friction, good or bad. Here we go. Number one, politics and religion. Highly divisive topics to avoid. Money and finances can cause stress and judgment. Personal life, relationship status, career, weight, or eating habits can trigger insecurity. The perfect holiday. Media hype creates unrealistic expectations versus reality, especially when they show you a toy on TV for these kids and you go buy it and it's like double the money and it doesn't even have everything in there. And the kids are like, but it was on the box. Another thing, how to navigate through this: set boundaries for yourself. Politely steer clear of controversial subjects like politics or past grievances. Just don't get into it. Manage expectation. Accept that not every moment will be perfect. Focus on the small joys. You know what I mean? Manage expectations. Accept that not every moment will be perfect. Again, focus on the small joys. Next, prioritize self cure. Ensure you get rest, eat mindful, and take breaks from stressful interactions. We all should do that. Focus on fun debates. Like, oh yeah, bet you can't eat this corn, or you can't eat that turkey, or yeah, last year you passed out from eating, you couldn't handle it. Make something fun, or your boots are funny, your hair's funny, your face is funny. Like jokingly with your family, people you can joke with. Focus on funny debates using lighthearted topics like best Christmas movies or traditions to connect. That's great. It's always good to do the Christmas movies, man, and talk about that. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, I don't worry about who's here. I love it. I don't care. One or two, I'm still here. Let me see. Another thing, too, another alternate for giving gifts. If you bake something. If you cook something. If you don't have the money to spend like that, if you can, knit or something, do that too. Focus on stories, not stuff. As leading trend for 2025, these gifts create lasting memories without contributing to landfill waste. Workshops and classes, pottery, flour, arranging, cooked with professional chefs. I mean, there's so much you could do. Oh, Home Alone. I was watching that the other night too. That's a really good movie, man. It really is. Like I said, I didn't have any plans to come on here, but I said, you know what? Let me get up here today. I do hope you're all having a beautiful morning. I mean, the YouTube world's been crazy. The stuff I've been saying is, I mean, it just shows you that when you see people on the internet act the way that they do, with the disrespect, the discontent, they had no respect for nobody's families, parents, kids, loved ones, and they try to antagonize you by coming at yours to make you bite. Number one, it shows how weak they are. Number two, it just makes you realize that, man, I'm so glad that I'm not around said individuals. Because my message to all you guys out there, you clowns that harass people, bully people, stalk people, like, I don't know anywhere in the world that you could do something to somebody and not have ramifications. Karma is just reality, man. It's not like somebody has to even do something to you. Like, if you do people wrong and you treat people a certain way, you're going to be unhappy. That's number one. That's the number one giveaway when you act like that. You're unhappy. Number two giveaway is that always put yourself in a form or a light of a person that you never could be, you never will be, you'll never see. Over here, Sess is right, 1,000%. Like, we just don't have any time for that, man. Like, our biggest argument is about food. You know what I mean? Restaurants, like old school stuff. Like, it's just old school Italian, man. And if people would take more time, especially during the holidays, these guys act like a bunch of imbeciles. Why? You call yourself Christians and you mock me for praying and doing what I do, but you also call yourself a Christian, but yet you act in a way that's not Christian-like. That's why I don't come at people. Not because I'm scared. It's because I know that God doesn't want that. It's called life. And the number one thing to these people is they haven't peaked yet. None of them. But you know what? It's all going to be good. Because God don't like ugly and the devil is a lie. And this Christmas is going to be a good one. So, today is just a good day, man. Be thankful for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't. Even if you're in a bad mood, try to put a smile on. Because if you don't, you're going to let life consume you. You're going to let the world consume you. And then you become part of a situation that sometimes you can't get out of. Like, you're stuck. And it's like, yeah, it's so easy to be negative over here and get people to watch you and get comments and this and that. But I never want it that way. And I'm never going to have it that way. I'm on a mission to change a lot in the world, especially the perception of ignorance and the perception that somebody's better than somebody else. You don't even know what somebody's life is, what they went through. You don't even know what they're going through. You know how many people are out in the street this year? You know how many people probably don't have a roof over their head, clothes on their back, food in their stomach? And I'm not talking about drug addicts. I'm talking about people who are literally homeless. I mean, they're the people that really should be prayed for. Everybody's sitting inside a house. Their bills are paid. You have the roof over your head. You have a car, gas in your car. Or if you can even afford to order DoorDash, you should be thankful for your life. That means you might be doing something right. But don't judge another man or woman. You never know what somebody has, what they don't have, or what they've been through. And usually that's a telltale sign of how much these guys not only never peaked, but they never ever, this could be women too, but they never had that type of life or around people in a situation where they seen somebody very successful, and the way they got to be successful was being humble, being gracious, being patient, being caring. That's what life's about. When you live your life and you worry about everybody else, especially these guys, I don't know, they count everybody's money. Who cares about that? The thing is I believe when you say you are a certain person and then you jump out of the window, everything somebody says something about you, it's not showing control. In fact, it shows the opposite, that you probably don't want to be behind said person. And you want to realize and you want to learn from people who've been there, people who could teach you, people who could show you. You want to be around, if you're around somebody who's got $10 in his pocket his whole life, you think he's going to help you get successful and rich? No. You got to be around people. Now, to get around these people, you have to conduct yourself in a different fashion. Do you see billionaires out there arguing with people? No. My man, Steve Easy, God bless. Do you see people acting like that? No, because they're content. They have money. They work hard. Their family's taken care of. Even when tragedy and things happen in their lives, they understand that it's a part of life. They don't use every little bad situation and blame somebody else. Christmas is about giving. It's not just presents. Give game, give love, give humbleness, give happiness, give everything you need to give, man. Because when it all comes down to it, at the end of the day, like I told Cessa the other day, man, when it's time to go to heaven, when that Jumbotron comes on and you see your whole life in front of you and you can't back down from that, that's when the problem sets. And there's an easy way. Just don't be that way, man. Be a better person. Plus, nobody believes in all these fake tough guys on here. Everybody can fight. Nobody wants to do the boxing matches or shit they were signing up. Like, it's just ridiculous. So that's why I strive to be a whole different channel. Yeah, it takes time when you're doing it this way. But you know what? This is sustainable. And this is longevity here because I'll always be able to present myself and not worry about what I might have said on the internet. So that's what I just want to do, man. I want to stay positive, stay right. And I do, though. I pray everybody has a good holiday. I pray everybody has a good day. But if you're treating people like crap, you deserve whatever comes your way. Hey, that rhymed. I'm thinking like right now, my biggest concern is like Cessa said, we're going to link up on Wednesday, right? Where we go to, the Penrose, Skinny Joe. He's like, well, we don't know what we're going to do. That's our biggest problem is deciding where we're going to eat. Now, if I lived closer to Cessa, I'd be at his house every morning for that sandwich with them hot peppers, the eggs. Oh, man, forget it. Because he really gets down. But again, man, there's a guy who could be really feeling a certain way about his life, and he stays positive because he doesn't have nothing to prove to nobody. He knows that whatever they say about him is not true. But the thing is, man, a lot of guys who are talking on the internet, what kind of spirit do you have, man? Sounds like the Grinch. I love God. I love the Lord. I love Christmas. I love being positive. I'm sure we all at one point were miserable. I'm sure some of us still are. Let me know how that works out for you. What good has come from being a piece of to other people, to yourself? That's the worst thing. When you do all that, you live like that, you're doing that all to yourself. It's not about anybody else. Don't point the finger. If you allow yourself to act a certain way, you are held accountable, not anybody else. Life's too short, man. Live, laugh, love, and get ready for Christmas. I know personally that I've been the other way. It never got me anywhere. This way, I'm not saying it's easy. It's not perfect, but It's definitely will last. Will last. And the more you realize how much that this life is better and how you don't want to be the other, it just takes over a whole part of you, man. It's really like you become like, I'm not saying reborn again, but you become like a whole new person, and that's what you want out of life. It's like there's no room for the other stuff anymore. So you surround yourself around different people, act different for the better. You still pray for people from a distance because that's what we have to do. But to get in the weeds and act like an imbecile, there's no reason to do that. You know, life isn't about going backwards or staying the same. It's about learning, bettering yourself, bettering your family too. And the only way your family's going to get better is they see you. If you're sitting there acting like a knucklehead, how you think your kids are going to act? So try to be better, man. This is Christmas, the New Year. Set that resolution for yourself. Try to become a better person. There's so many people on YouTube that are successful and they don't do hate streams. They don't dox people. They don't yell. And if you think about it, all the people in these little communities, some of these guys been around for a long time. They're not really doing numbers like that because you tap out, man. You just stuck. And they peaked out. Not that they peaked out. Like that's their top bar. They're not going to do any more than that. So just try to be better people, man. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'll be on here in the morning. I just want to stop and say, I hope you have a blessed morning. I hope you guys getting everything for your shopping. I hope you guys. Oh, tomorrow at some point, I'll be doing a donation. I'm sending the money to Make the Wish. It was like $110, and Ceci gave me $100, so I'm gonna add a couple of hours. I already did. So whatever it is, like it's gonna be over $200. I'm just gonna send right to them, and then we'll work on next year's. So with that being said, I pray that you guys have a great night, a great Christmas Eve, Christmas, and New Year's. If I don't get to see you, I'll be back here tomorrow morning. You know, freestyle, no real big plans, just to have some fun and talk and, you know, just shoot the crap in a positive way. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button if you want. And remember one thing, stay blessed, not stressed. Let God handle the rest. Be kind to people, man. It doesn't cost you anything. Straight up. And another thing, every time you hear God tell you how tough he is, don't believe